Okay, welcome back, everybody. Thank you very much for your warm participation throughout the day, and I hope you enjoyed your short break. And so we are now moving into our second panel discussion, Compassionate Technology and Humanitarian Assistance, a topic that brings us to the heart of why we are gathered here, how technology can serve people in need with dignity and care. Our host for this session is Tzu Chi CEO Po-Wen Yen, who will introduce the panelists and lead today's conversation. CEO Po-Wen?
Okay, thank you, MC. Good afternoon. Thank you for staying with us until now. This is the final session for today, and I'm honored to introduce three distinguished speakers, panelists. First, I would like to introduce Professor Chuan. Professor Chuan is the CEO of the Tang Prize, Tang Foundation. He is a professor Emeritus of Civil Engineering at National Taiwan University. And he received his PhD in Civil Engineering from Northwestern University. He's an honorary member and fellow of the American Concrete Institute. Professor Chern is Vice President and academician of the International Academy of Engineering, IAE. Professor Chern has served in several important roles in the cabinet of the executive yuan of Republic of China, Taiwan, such as Minister without Portfolio and Minister of Public Construction Committees. So today, he's going to share with us, the topic is post-disaster reconstruction with consideration for sustainability and goodness. The floor is yours, Professor Chern.
Thank you, CEO Yen. Yeah, it's my great honor and pleasure to join you in the last session of today. Okay, let's see. 大的历史哦 ，OK， 要 point 到什么地方？哦 ，OK。The topic I'm going to share with you. Okay. Yeah, could be just right time since we know that Hong Kong just suffered a fire in the high-rise buildings. How to deal with that? Yeah, it's a lot of work. Yeah, and maybe this experience can help a little bit. Yeah. So we all know that climate change, is coming, and the year of 2024, was in a very bad situations. Yeah, even just a few days ago in Southeast Asia, that heavy shower and floods took away at least 1,300 people lives now, and more than 4 million people suffered. And in the COP30s, we used to talk about the carbon reductions, but it seems that we cannot come to a very good agreement, and they right now talk about more to emphasize adaptations and resilience, etc. So, and we had to live with the disaster now, since it's inevitable, and how to strengthen disaster management in enhancing the resilience are crucial to reducing the loss, accelerating reconstructions, and enabling the swift recovery of social life and economy activities. Yeah, for a long time, Taiwan has coexisted with disasters, accumulating a valuable experience and resilience in the process. Yeah, we have mega typhoon, mega earthquake. We have all kind of natural challenge, and was ranked as #1 countries by the World Bank as the high risk to natural disaster. So I would like to introduce our models of reconstructions. And our experience is that we usually work together with NGOs and the volunteers. So it becomes a very important foundation for the next disaster. And we have constructed a social management system with a high degree of disaster prevention, awareness, and faster construction capability. It's a joint effort of government, NGO, charity organization, and the enterprise, and with the own efforts of refugees after the disaster. Facing the challenge of the future, a national land conservation guidelines approved for the reconstructions so that the humanity and the sustainability can be assured. The colorful sustainable community for relocated people and sustainable public works for reconstructed infrastructure. A new enterprise developed with the green culture and innovations. And here is examples of our typhoon, Morocco, in 2009. So the total rainfall achieved 3 meters high just in 3 days. Half of the Taiwan, southern parts and eastern parts, suffered from this mega disaster. So, and it was an impact to Taiwan, and the flood people is 500,000, and 20,000 people suffer from landslide and river scour. Those are people that need to be relocated. And 2/3 of those people, 3/4 of those people are indigenous people. And 700 people died. And the flood in, and the Shaolin village is a deep layer landslide caused 459 deaths. And here's the village and rivers before and after. And in the early stage of the relief and reconstruction, we face a lot of oppositions from the refugee people. Yeah. So a lot of negotiations with them is necessary. Even 1 year after the earthquake, after the disaster, in our presidential house, still the worries of our indigenous people. And special feature of the construction has to be safety, efficiency, respect, and with innovations. And we set up the Special Act to relieve the law based on our previous disaster law. But this Special Act was imposed past our cabinet and the Congress and announced by the president just 20 days after, so very fast, and allocate the budget. And the act was used to amend to our previous disaster prevention and protection law. So our Special Act, the fourth item, indicate the way to deal with this disaster. So the special committee in the highest level was founded 7 days after the disasters, and I'm the CEO. And the budget, part of it came from the donations. And we had to work on the civil infrastructure plan, community reconstruction plan, and industry reconstruction plan under the guidelines of land conservation. And very important is the spirit in our Article 2, the reconstruction has to be based on humanity, emphasize on the importance of victims' livelihood, respect the versatile culture, assure the community participations, and consider both the national land protection and environmental conservations. And here are our indigenous people, 16 tribes with 2% of total population in Taiwan. And we have to do the safety assessment to the place where they live and also to the locations we're gonna relocate them. Yeah. And for examples, we have to, we work on the near 300 sites of safety assessment where they live, and 115 public heating for the non-development restricted area, and 160 sites investigation, and the review meetings for their future relocated sites. So a lot of engineering participations, and also need to work together with our refugees. Here is the public hearings that we talk with them. And we did this with the private participations with NGO, such as Tzu Chi and many other NGO to work on the permanent house community project. So the government has its role, and also the local government and NGO and enterprise, they work on the project together with their spatial function. And for the reconstruction, we have a civil infrastructure, house, school, cultural reconstruction, spiritual reconstruction, and industrial reconstructions. So it's a overall programs. So we like to build a house to become their home, and it's a community, and it's an organic, colorful, sustainable community for their future. And this is one of the community with near 500 houses. In total, we developed 3,600 houses for them in 44 sites, including the church and the school, community centers, and many others. And here's their permanent house for their futures, that they can own this house. So we respect their autonomy during the negotiation process. Since they all have their different way of thinking, they like to stay where they live, especially for indigenous people. And we eventually promise them, if they want to stay, we let them stay, okay? If you want to come down to a relocated safe place, then we will build our house for them immediately, okay? But you can see that people come down and talk the permanent house increase gradually, while those stay in the high-risk area, comes down. So nobody was forced to leave. But if they stay in a risky area, we declare that it's unsafe. Then they had to leave when the government announced typhoon is coming or other things. So that's the only promise they had to cope with. And also many schools were reconstructed. And this is one school constructed by BenQ Foundations. That's another school, a community facility, and with a cultural message of their own tribes. They did this by all themselves. Government just provides some basic fundings so they can work on that for living. So they decorate their own house as well. So this is the newly built, but all those were done by themselves. So they can make it a home, their own home, since they participate in the building their own house. And this one is the same. This is Tzu Chi, built this house for them, and they make them their home. And cultural facility, museums, park, and also their festivals. And for the civil infrastructure reconstructions, we use the innovative approach and sustainable to build the sustainable public infrastructures. So then conservation principle is very important. And also use the comprehensive management of river basins from the central high mountain to the coastal areas. We had to integrate all the constructions. And drainage of those debris is very important. And this is the bridge, newly built bridges. So we built 126 new bridges with a longer span, high pier, and deep pier, bypass the unsafe area, like this area. And most structures were done by just one span, to provide a safer and needed transportations. And here are the bridges, for, and this one is a Samu twin bridges. Used to be in this route. Even though you use the sheer tunnels, still cannot avoid the damage. So this Samu bridge was built to replace the damaged bridges. And we also bring in the cultural symbols of their own, and they participate in doing this kind of work, just like this one. They are all done by, since this is a symbol of their indigenous peoples. Usually our civil engineer, we construct the bridge and we left. But all this bridge will stay with them forever, generation by generations. So their participations is very, very important. And also mental health and spiritual recovery. And we set up a very effective system after our experience in the 1999 earthquake. So all our hospitals, all our professionals, they joined the project immediately. Right after the disaster, also our religious groups, art therapy, and the social worker, they all come together immediately to the site. And even we provide a church, and a spiritual farm for our indigenous people. Most all these churches, since most 95% of our indigenous people, they are Catholic, either Catholic or Christian. You can look at this one. After the earthquake, the suicide rate. For the Tzu Chi earthquake in 1999, usually after the disaster, suicide rate increased. That happens, all over the world. But for the Taiwan monarch, we enforce the new system. So we did not see the increase of the disaster suicide rate. It even comes down. So we had to work together, among the government, NGO, and enterprise. And we promote the green technology, so that, and also the participation, we have more than 31 industries and NGO including Foxconn, TSMC, all they come into the recovery project. And that's the industry development project by Foxconn, using the BOP and transfer to refugees. So we say it's a BOP and T. It's a farm, organic farm, and also set up the organic industries in Taiwan, in the southern parts. And it's a tea plant by TSMC. Bamboo plants as well. So for the house, just 1 year, we provide 82%, near 3,000 units, just 1 year. Yeah, they move in, yeah. Okay, so we further revise our disaster prevention and protection law. For every time after the disaster, we did it, okay? So we accumulated our experience, yeah. And disaster prevention is more important than disaster relief. Avoidance of disaster is better than prevention of the disaster. Okay, so we import. Okay, this is a statistic which shows just after it's a community, yeah, surveyed by professors. So the satisfied and very satisfied usually come up pretty fast in all the categories. And here's another studies. In lifestyle, family tie, all these kind of things. The satisfactions and the very satisfactions achieve more than 90%. Okay, so it's not only a reconstruction, it's a reborn. Okay, so safety, humanity, innovation, and sustainability. Okay, so that's my talk. Since I have only 15 minutes, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Professor Chern. Professor Chern is not only a prestigious scholar in his academic achievement, but also in practical experience, successfully managing disaster response, midterm recovery, and long-term reconstruction. Thank you for Professor Chern. Next is another prestigious scholar, Professor Yoshitsugu Hayashi. Hayashi is a distinguished scholar and leader in transport research, urban planning, and sustainability. He currently serves as a full member of Executive Committee of the Club of Rome and President of the Japanese Association of the Club of Rome, as well as Professor Emeritus at Nagoya University and Distinguished Professor at Tokai-Gakuen University. And Hayashi's career spanned both academic and international leadership, board member and former president of the World Conference on Transport Research Society. And today he's going to share, the topic is transforming infrastructure evaluation toward quality of life and sufficiency. The floor is yours, Professor.
Thank you very much. Okay. Now, today I will talk about transportation-related issues. And Professor Chern talked about how hardware setup, together with software care, can make the society or say, impressed, say, subjectively, something like that. Disaster resilience. And that is for humanity. And my talk is how to evaluate particularly infrastructure project in terms of subjectiveness, not objectiveness. Okay? So first, problematic in mobility. Today, it's about 100 years after the automobile model of automobile company, American automobile company. I'm old. Very important name, forgot. Ford, Henry Ford, developed T-type Ford, and then it exaggerated to produce, say, skyrocketingly increased the number of automobile. That was the first start of motorization. Okay. So this is my illustration, just comparing Tokyo, Beijing, Bangkok. Sorry, no Hong Kong yet. Big cities. And then the horizontal is per capita GDP, and then vertical is car ownership rate. How many cars owned per 1,000 inhabitants? Okay. Look at that. Tokyo has not grown, almost very little. And then next, Beijing and Bangkok very rapidly increased. So who have visited Bangkok already? Raise hands. Okay, about half. Okay, very good. So this does not mean Bangkok is richer than Tokyo, because I'm comparing the same level of per capita income. And this is that. And this is showing about, sorry, I should check time. This is about demand side, okay? And then the supply side is, so this vertical is the next figure's horizontal, and then the vertical is supply side of road. How many meters of paved road per registered car? Every city came down, okay? So if you can continue to construct, extend road at the same speed as car ownership grows, then all the lines must be flat, okay, going very flat. And then the last one is how many minutes is necessary to move per kilometer. Look at this. In Bangkok, from 1985, 1990, suddenly came to this, the left. So this, I call it the limit to motorization, borrowing the name of the first report of the Club of Rome, limits to growth. Okay, so I name 20th century's mobility stupid. Okay, why stupid? The first one is the same time of the day, people wish to go out. Why? Why don't stay at home more? Okay, don't you think we are so stupid? Okay, and the next one is car-oriented sprawl. Okay, car-oriented sprawl. Comparing Tokyo and Bangkok, Tokyo suburbanized, but along railways. Because when we grew up, we did not know cars because we were so poor. Okay, the railways first. But Bangkok, they did not have railways. They naturally had to buy second-hand cars. Not yet income was so not high, but they had to depend. And as a result, very much low density spread over appeared. Okay? So what is very important now is in the suburb of Bangkok, what is happening now, old people are isolated because old people stop driving, cannot drive, and then no bus service available because the bus company is not profitable. Okay? So that is a very big issue. Okay. And then the next is about 90% of cars are sleeping, not using. So stupid. Why we own cars or wish to own cars? That's why sharing is important. Okay? Many people sharing, but this is the main reason. Okay? I'm from the city of Toyota. Okay? Maybe Toyota CEO may wish to stop my talk here. And then fourth one is in many developing countries, mega cities, the pedestrians cannot walk. Okay. Now, as a result of this inconvenience, the result of inconvenience is this is the figure of Thailand and the world. Okay. So traffic accidents, every hour, 3 people are killed in Thailand. Okay. And every day, 66 people. Altogether in the world, 1.35 million are killed by traffic accident. But now, the next one is asthma, air pollution, okay? Coming from industry and coming from car traffic, 6.5 million killed, okay? Much more than traffic accidents. So in developing countries, global warming, CO2 emission, of course, it's damaging, but even more damageable is air pollution. Okay? So governmental talks between different countries, we have to consider what is important in different countries. And this is mapping. EST means environmental sustainable transport. How to reduce CO2 emission, we had some studies. Okay? And then the best strategy is to avoid, not to move, okay? Not to move. many instruments, okay? And then if you really wish to move in the city, shift to low carbon system, okay? And if you really wish to use cars, then efficient cars you have to use like that. The next one is evaluating transport infrastructure technology by happiness. So this is going into from objective to subjective world. Okay? So this is my model, and how to measure each individual person's happiness by mobility, by moving one place to the other. Okay? So what is most stupid now is, say, railway project, road project, evaluated by the government. How do you evaluate? Okay? How much GDP will be increased by new motorways, and then divided by the construction and maintenance cost. That's stupid, okay? So don't you think strange? Every government is seeking for SDGs. So what is the most important in SDGs concept is no one left behind or not. But GDP is a total money flow per year in the country. That doesn't tell anything about whether someone is left or not. So stupid. So all the government are telling a lie. We are very keen about SDGs. No, okay. So this is the method how to measure each individual. So imagine you live in this district or in this mesh, but you don't have the green one is hospitals. You don't have in your mesh. The hospitals are one hour away or 30 minutes away, and the shops are blue, say 40 minutes away or 1 hour, half hours away. So, but if distance is long, then available service, physical service will be diminished, and then you can get only these values you can get. Okay. Now until here, this is equally given to everyone. But whether you appreciate the given service, good or not, or much or not, dependent upon the person's attribute. Okay? Young ladies may wish to obtain all the physically available service of shopping, but they don't have interest in medical service because they don't go. And for me, old man, I wish to get all greens, but less purple, like that. Of course, depending on person, I have much interest in shopping, depending on the person anyway. Now, so sorry, this is equation. So original values in, you are living in I, but the service M is a J district, then diminish, okay? But this is physically diminished, but this is how M service is appreciated by K type of person. So W is weight. So weight is sum is my definition of quality of life for K person living in I, like that. Then, so summing up all together, whole population over K, then this is Bhutan's gross national happiness, or gross regional happiness, if you like. And even better, my system is by K type of person, gross national happiness, okay? Then this is the result conducted in Singapore, say upper female, lower male, young, middle aged, and all aged for female, crime rate is most important. Weight is biggest. But men not. The middle-aged men, working accessibility is most important. They are workaholic, perhaps. And then senior people, most important is community life. Okay, so differently. So this is a result mapping. This is for young female, like this. Red is a high QOL, okay. And then this is for young men. Young men is better. And the middle-aged lady is even better. Middle-aged men, no. And senior female, senior men, very high. So I have to migrate to Singapore. And then we can get such, the vertical is population, how many people are living. Look at this very good area, high QOL area, not many people are living, but outskirts many, okay, because of living cost. So if you have money, the government has money, what to do? What to do is maybe circle line of rail. Okay, so this was calculated 7 years ago, but now they are now open the circle line. Very good. Or you give subsidies to these people, whichever. So by only this mapping, 3D mapping, we can have the combination of policies. Okay, so this is the same system will be applied for East Japan Great Earthquake, and then gradually how it was recovered. And then I will skip very much, but this is a Bangkok project. Mobile phone advice, ask in the morning, 6 o'clock, whether I will have to go, I can go out. Mostly, no, you are stupid if you go. Then stay at home more, and then play with kids. Then your QOL will be higher, okay? And then if the transport system will be less congested, you can go out, but still not always going to the city center office. Wherever you can work, you could find out during COVID-19, coffee shop, etc., wherever. The third place is very important. Okay, then as a result, peak hour congestion will be much reduced, and the CO2 as well. And finally, the evaluation of the project is, 30 seconds. Daily QOL, personal QOL, divided by, to keep this QOL, how much social cost, total cost is spent. Okay, construction cost, maintenance cost, and then CO2 emission damage cost on the environment, etc. So the tangent is up and up, then the better project. So this is the end of my presentation. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Professor Hayashi. And actually, my understanding is Professor Hayashi-san made a lot of contribution, used his theory and model for the urban planning to improve the transportation situation in Bangkok and also the living quality in Singapore. Thank you very much for that. And last one, the third speaker is Dr. Marshall Siao, actually in Chinese, yeah. Marshall Siao, and Dr. Marshall Siao, he is an architect and engineer, and he is an inventor, more than 200 patents, mostly DAI technology, all are focused on compassionate technology. That is really reflect today this session's topic. And he also a scientist and also a social entrepreneur. Yeah. So I will leave Dr. Chai, you introduce yourself because I know him very well. We share the same office.
Thank you. Thank you,
please,
CEO.
Dr. Chai, go ahead. Yeah.
Good afternoon, everyone. To begin with, I would like to express my deepest and most heartfelt gratitude to Venerable Master Cheng Yen, CEO Yen, and Vice CEO Her of the Tzu Chi Foundation for endorsing my late brother, Michael Siao, for the 2025 Asian Philanthropy Forum Asian Philanthropy Special Tribute Award. Thank you very much. It is a profound honor for our family to receive the compassionate support of Master Cheng Yen, whose wisdom and boundless benevolence have long guided and inspired countless individuals. Her gracious endorsement is a meaningful affirmation of my brother's legacy of service, and we are sincerely grateful for this blessing. Thank you very much. Okay. Thank you for the introduction for CEO Yen, and I want to introduce myself. Apart from all the profession, the things that we are doing, first of all, I'm also a Buddhist pure practitioner. I live in Chingsi Abode. A Buddhist pure practitioner is we devote our whole lifetime in Tzu Chi mission. We don't get married, so we have enough time for this pure mission. We want to serve our whole lifetime to others. It's like benefiting the whole planet or the whole mankind. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, this is my brother. My brother spent most of his lifetime in serving Tzu Chi mission. I really thank Tzu Chi for that. Okay. My topic today is we only have one planet, and we are all responsible. Dr. Her mentioned about NASA going to planet and things like that. And you may know China can now reach the dark side of the moon. Regardless of the scientific advancement, we still don't know if there is life outside the solar system, even with the advancement of science. Our planet is irreplaceable, yet human activities continue to push nature system to the brink. So innovation and design must prioritize responsibility, resilience, and care for all living system over profit and convenience. Strategic design and sustainable technologies help shift industries and communities from short-term gain to long-term common good. Dr. Her mentioned about during the earthquake last year in Taiwan, because Tzu Chi, with a high efficiency system of helping the community, New York Times put a lot of publication on that, even the CNN and also the Japanese media. After that, the Federal Emergency Management Unit in Washington, they invited Tzu Chi and Jinsi to have a collaboration with them. The topic is all about multi-faith leaders climate resilient roundtable. Note, the main topic is about resilience, climate resilience. I was also invited last year by the National VOAD in Phoenix, Arizona. This is about voluntary organization active in disaster. We have demonstrate all the disaster relief product and system that we have. It's a very good interaction with everyone. It's really good. And also, we also participated the Listos coordination meeting in California. What is Listos? In Spanish term, ready, readiness. You can see the banner. It's all about rooted, resilient, and ready. The event is about making everyone in the community get ready in terms of disaster. I was invited by the Aston University this year, early April, to share about the system that we are doing. And the topic is about making the West Midland resilient by 2030. Okay. All of the events, I think they focus on the resilience, how to make us more resilient. So the topic that I want to share today is Design for Resilience. I just attended the 2025 Asian Philanthropy Forum, and I've learned something really important. And it says here that philanthropy is not an adjunct to wealth, but a means to drive social innovation and solve complex problems. So, according to Luc Martin, it's very important to identify the problems, so we will have design solutions. According to Perkins and Byers, the design was once largely about making products more attractive. Today, it's a way of thinking, a creative process that spans entire organizations, driven by the desires to better understand and meet the consumer needs. Well, according to Watson, good design is a good business. For me, a good design is also a good management. Reasonable design solutions play an essential role in making the community more resilient. I want to share here 3 case studies. First of all, I want to share SARS pandemic 2003. That was more than 20 years ago. At that time, because I'm working for both Tzu Chi Foundation and our Tzu Chi Medical Center. So I've noticed a lot of things. And at that time, I proposed and invented one product called the SARS capsule. It might look like a capsule, but you don't put it in your mouth because this is quite huge. You can actually put one person in the capsule. What is this? This is a movable negative pressure isolation chamber to capsulize the airborne transmitted viruses and secure by the inline high efficiency particle arrestor or the HEPA filter to exhaust the air to protect healthcare staff and practitioner of getting infected, especially during the delivery and transfer of the suspected SARS patient. This design could be used by air or ambulance. Yeah, we have managed to came up with a very good prototype, but I'm very sad, to be honest, because at that time we are not the government designated hospital to handle the SARS patient, so we did not really continue the development of this product. After 20 years, it's a reflection or lesson learned after 20 years. The pandemic showed the importance of continuous development even when a crisis seems to have passed. Stopping progress can leave gap in future emergency response. Because for the past few years, when we have experienced the COVID-19, after 20 years, the experience reminded us that if we had continued developing the SARS capsule, we could have helped save even more lives. The key lesson here is preparedness, like listos, ready, and sustained innovation must never stop, especially when the goal is to protect public health and serve the welfare of the people. Okay. For my case study number 2, Professor Her mentioned about the earthquake and our solution. This one is 2018 Hualien, Taiwan earthquake. Okay. Tzu Chi responded efficiently, quickly, by sending foldable bed and essential supplies to support the community. Evacuees of all ages stayed together in one large sports center. Well, Master Cheng Yen instructed the team to visit affected areas and observe the real situation in the first hand, and observe something if we could improve the situation. The lesson here is to observe the problem first, to understand the real needs and guide meaningful improvements. This is the photographs. You could see we send a lot of foldable beds, although there's no place to put their belongings. Okay, so after that problem, identifying the problem, we came up with a good solution. Here is 1 minute indoor shelter system. It's a very short clip to share the system that we have used in the coming earthquake. Okay, please play. There's a sounds, yeah. What is a 1 minute indoor shelter system? This is actually a pop-up cubicle tent with 2 foldable beds, table, chair, mosquito net, cabinet, and even livelihood package. What is a livelihood package? This is all the belongings you needed, all the stuff that you need for 3 weeks or even for 3 days or even a week. Yeah, this is the pop-up cubicle which you could assemble in a few seconds. The purpose for this one is to have more privacy, because we've noticed that during the 2018 earthquake, everyone stays together in one big area. So if we have this cubicle, we could have improved the privacy. Okay, this is like a little hotel rooms. And it's a pop-up, so it's very easy and simple. And we even designed a pocket, so the cover for this one won't get lost, okay? All the furnitures, they are foldable, so it's easy to transport, light in weight, and more importantly, you could actually disinfect that and clean that. and we have the cabinets. Because of the 2018 observation, we have placed for their belongings, okay? And the livelihood package is all the things you could imagine for 1 week or 3 days in a displacement area or center, yeah. And the mosquito net as well. Well, everything is made from recycled plastic. For the mosquito net and the pop-up cubicle, they are made from PET bottles, while all the foldable plastic furnitures, they are made from hard plastic, recycled hard plastic, okay. So we created a system. This is like urban planning. It's like a system. So when there's a need, you just follow the format, okay. So during the new earthquake in Taiwan, 2024, just last year, we managed, this is a training prior to that. We have a lot of training. Well, you could see we have managed to use that during the 2024 earthquake, 2024 last year, yeah. And the Japanese media and also the New York Times covered all this information, and they find it amazing how Tzu Chi managed to set up all this thing in a very short period of time. Of course, it's a whole system, okay. And the last case study I want to share is about the double loop zero waste strategy. This is sorting the problem of paper cups or lunch boxes, because in Taiwan, every year we consume 8 billion of containers, excluding paper cups, every year. That's average of 29 pieces per person per month. So 70% ended up in incinerator. Okay. During the 2019 during the 2019 event, United Nations, the chief scientist mentioned about the economic cost of air pollution is 10 times that of World War II. Professor Hayashi mentioned about air pollution. Okay. During one marathon, it created 50,000 pieces of paper cups. Okay. The Tzu Chi and the Chingsi came up with a solution. We call it the zero waste strategy, double loop zero waste strategy, which is to recycle the paper cups or the lunch boxes. We separate the paper and the fiber and the plastic. For the fiber, we create tissue paper. And for the plastic, we created plastic interlocking pavers. Okay, this one is the how the paper cups or the paper container looks like. It is actually composed of 2 plastic layers with fiber in the middle. So we collected this one, the paper waste. It's very clean. It's very clean. So we actually use industrial scale to separate the fiber and the plastic. Okay. So for the paper, we created the Chingsi tissue paper. And every 100 tons of paper recycled, we can produce 60 tons of recycled tissue paper. We can save 2,000 10-year-old trees from being cut down. Okay. And our recycled tissue paper is quite good. The color is very near white. And when I went to the UN conference a few years ago in Europe, their recycled paper is actually gray. So our technology is better than Europe. Yeah. Okay, all our Tzu Chi system, we are using our own product, all recycled. Okay. Well, the Tzu Chi Hospital in Taichung actually they did some statistic, how much of electricity they could save, trees being saved and things like that. So this is the Chingsi eco-pavered bricks. To produce this product, we actually invented the machine. We collected several invention patents in Europe, Japan, China, Taiwan, and even in the US. We created the machine to produce interlocking pavers like this. Every 100 square meter of Chingsi eco-pavers, we could save 4 tons of plastic from going into incinerator. We can reduce carbon emission by 9 tons. Yeah, this is the actual application. Even though there are more work to be done, but at least we started the first step, there's a long way to go, but at least we try. To finish the whole presentation, the lesson learned here is waste becomes a resource when viewed through the lens of innovation, circularity, and resilience. Continuous improvement and creative problem solving can turn long-standing environmental challenge into opportunities for sustainable development. Every action aligned with environmental care, no matter how small, contributes to building a more resilient, responsible, and future-ready societies. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Sai. And yeah, actually, Tzu Chi, this is only a small portion of Tzu Chi's compassionate technology. We have some others, including the mobile kitchen and water purification system. And you're welcome to come to Taiwan to come and visit to our Tzu Chi headquarters in Hualien. So I will leave more questions for the. I would like to have the floor open for questions. Yeah, please.
Thank you so much for three of your presentation. I have one question for Professor Chern. Thank you, three of experts' talk. I have one question for Professor Chern regarding the suicidal rate. You're talking about the change number of suicidal in the post-disaster Taiwanese society in connection of Tzu Chi's humanitarian effort, but you rush through the PowerPoint. Can you tell us a little bit more?
Okay. We have a public health insurance system in Taiwan. So we have almost have everybody's hospital record. Okay. So after the Tzu Chi earthquake in 1999, we assigned all hospitals in Taiwan. They take care of a portion of the regions. And we also connected to our disaster rescue actions. So after the disaster, we have many refugees, okay? And before let them to flee to other place, we start the operations. Since all hospitals, even the small hospitals, they have the record, so they know who is more accessible, with high possibility to have this kind of psychological actions. So we approach to them, and of course also with our sociology people, and it come up a team working with the government agency. So that's the way we had to catch the first minutes. So that's why, and of course it takes time. To work with them, and in another thing is that you have to have a very good, fast reconstruction process as well. So gradually, with operations, especially for those people, they have suffered from the death of family or the loss of all their properties. They tend to complain a lot. And you have to talk to them, deal with them, and you have to start the action right away. Usually, many people said that you should talk with them slowly, gradually, takes time. Of course, we need to do that, but you also need to do the real practical works at the same time. And then they see the good result. They start to trust you. And trust is very important. Then it's much easier to work together with a refugee themselves. So that's the way we deal the psychological, mental health, commit suicide issues. Thank you.
Okay, Chris.
For Professor Hayashi, I'm curious, you mentioned how stupid the 20th century model of car usage has been in many cases, and I think we've all seen the negative consequences of pollution, overcrowding on the roads, things like that. What are you optimistic about for the future? Are there ways that we can change that stupid model to make it a little smarter in the 21st century?
Thank you. Very good question. Until last year, my team has conducted a project for Bangkok. At the beginning, we were requested to solve congestions. Okay? But in many cases, including transport specialists, they look at only crossings or car movement only. Okay? So we set up 2 stages. The first one is metropolitan-wide grand design, where living place and working place, set up. And we recommended the accessibility today using railways, and then the future accessibility. And then very accessible point, we recommended to grow up those district or station areas as sub-centers. So that is decentralization of destinations. So it's very clear. So even 10-year-old children understand, but adults don't understand. Okay, that is one thing. And another one is that is the spatial relations, okay, spatial interactions. The second one is that is a choice of place, destination. Another is a choice of time to move. So that is we prepared mobile phone system advice, and then say warn how stupid you are, etc. But unfortunately, in the middle, COVID-19 appeared, and we wanted to request, Bangkok T something 48 girl groups join us, and then ask them to use our system. And then, oh, this is good, that is good. But that process we missed. But we are sure that can be working. So after COVID-19, new normal, the word new normal was used. But we thought we were moving to the new normal, not going to the office every day. Only 2 days is enough, etc. But the companies are still stupid. The companies request the employees to come. Okay? So the day after tomorrow, I will speak in Tokyo. That is our result of COVID-19 studies. The COVID-19 made people, IT people, say, income increased, without moving increased. And then essential workers like bus drivers or convenience store shoppers, they move and then they kept income. And some others lost jobs, then not move less income in such a way. So COVID-19 has segregated different types of job people. So we have to learn from those kind of results, and then redesign our urban system. and that is very important. The physical system should be redesigned. At the same time, operation system of urban system, that is another important part of for change. So that should be done. Then if we cooperate together by different bodies, like Taiwan's say realizing resilience of disaster resilience, we have to learn from Taiwan a lot and the Tzu Chi system a lot. So I wish to Tzu Chi and or Professor Chern appeal to all over the world. Why not to realize the new normal?
So Professor Chern from Taiwan and Hayashi-san from Japan and Dr. Marshall from Philippines. We are all in the high vulnerability of the natural disaster area. So we can learn each other and share each other. I apologize because of for the sake of time, I had to end the panel discussion right now. So let's give a round of applause for all the panelists. Thank you very much.